is Strudel, a member of the furry fandom.
Pause it. This goes back to local news. This is Strudel, a member of the furry fandom. Just say it with a straight face. That is a reasonable sexual deviant. This is a world sometimes that I don't want to live in. So you have some, and the key here is the media malpractice. That's the theme of today with these protests, and also the protests happening, not protests, riots, disruptions when you're talking about the pro-Hamas people. But in this case, you actually have younger students who are protesting in a peaceful manner, something that they believe has been affecting them negatively for a while. Okay. What is the problem, or what has been the catalyst for this? Furries. I know, to the uninitiated, you're saying, what's that? You're lucky. Furries are people who have by and large, a sexual proclivity for anthropomorphic characters. Anthropomorphic, I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. Mm-hmm. You know, characters, and it starts with liking dressing up like an animal. And then, not all the time, but by and large, having sex dressed like that. Now, this is apparently a lifestyle-defining preference.
Apparently.
And it's, of course, in the age of normalizing everything, has even seeped into grade schools, middle schools, high schools. You've heard stories like this across the country. But in Utah, this happened. These children staged a walkout, and the administration said, no, none of that's happening. So none of that is happening. That's not true. These kids they're just telling tall tales. And then, of course, it turned out that it was true. That's what's so unnerving to me. You have people in positions of power. When the left talks about, hierarchies of power, you have people who are actually on staff, faculty, saying, no, those students are lying, when it's very clear they simply don't like what is making the students uncomfortable. They don't like the perpetrators. They don't like the antagonist, the protagonist, so they accuse their children of lying. Here are the children right here. I believe this is their walkout, telling you why they walked out before being accused of lying by the media.
We begin in Payson, where a group of about 75 protesters showed up to Nebo Middle School today. They say it's an issue over students who call themselves furries.
Nearly 75 students and parents showed up facing the school, saying they're unhappy with how administration is handling reports of harassment.
A lot of the administration was just happy someone was finally using the tetherball court. So there are wins for everybody.
Come on.
I like how the media guy goes, students who call themselves what is known as furries. He has to say that with a straight face.
Local media is terrible. The other thing that I picked up on, and there are a group of about 75 protesters facing the school.
Yes. Facing the school where they say the furries reside.
Furries are inside.
Who does your writing for you?
It is my understanding that furries enjoy having sex in animal suits.
It's like Bucky the Buckeye having sex with Bevo.
Angela, back to you while I chase my tail.
Yes. So this brings us to an installment of, I think, really egregious because it involves children as the target, media malpractice. All right, first up, here are the students, again, children, stating why they have walked out and their concerns, the furries.
Are they wearing a mask every day?
Yes. But every time we go, they're always just wearing a mask. But the principal finally stood up and banned those stuff.
But they still wear them every day, and they don't get in trouble. The principal doesn't make them get in trouble.
They attack us.
They attack us and we get in trouble.
And how else do they attack you guys?
They either bite us, they scratch us, they bark at us,
they pounce on us.
and then they run on all fours and pounce on people.
Why are they spraying you with Febreze?
Just because they don't.
We can't talk or say
Freaking hate Febreze.
or even look at them, but they can come look at us and they can say stuff to us and touch us, and we get in trouble.
And just to be clear, kids lie all the time. I believe they're telling the truth because that is directly in line with the zero tolerance policy that you see through the woke Olympics in public education. If you are the right oppressed class that day, you can get away with it. Oh, white privileged kids, they're going to have to take it on the chin. Sorry, I believe him. Here's the claim that the administration made. Well, they didn't really make a claim. They just denied that it was happening. Period.
It is not something that's been occurring. In fact, a lot of the information that's been put out there is completely incorrect and inaccurate.
And the media jumped in. Right here you have an overlay with USA Today, Pride, KSL News, even local news, basically calling the students who walked out liars. Right? First off, accusing them of being liars when they expressed their concerns, and then with the walkout, again, accusing them of being liars, and anyone who covered this story of being a liar. And I will tell you this, I was going, how much of this is real?
Right.
Because you've seen some outrage porn in the past where people say litter box and maybe it didn't happen. But imagine you're one of these students and you're living it and it is real and you're now accused of lying, right? That's a bigger crime. That's a bigger misdeed than simply disagreeing and saying, well, the kids can be furries all they want. No, they said it's not happening. The kids are not being furries. The media jumped in. Nah, it's not a real thing. These kids are just rabble-rousers. Here's the truth. There are pictures of kids dressed as furries right here. Yep, a bunch of them. And I thought, well, you know what? That could be one of those. This is so absurd. That could be one of those stories where with Halloween, someone's saying out of context. Here's another truth. All references available at louderwithcrowder.com. We make the link available in the description. Sorensen, the guy you just saw, was downplaying this for a while. The local media then confirmed that some students do come into school in animal costumes.
Well.
They said the group of students being targeted sometimes come to school wearing headbands that may have ears on them. He says, Sorensen said that he doesn't think the targeted students refer to themselves as furries. So it's, well, maybe headbands. And then it was, no, they don't refer to themselves as furries. And then, well, maybe some outfit, but not all the time, and they're not supposed to. And the kids are saying they're coming into this school dressed as animals, and they are harassing us, and we are getting in trouble if we respond.
He might as well have said, no, we don't have any people dressing up as furries. They're actual werewolves. We have werewolf students.
Yes.
They don't call themselves that. I'm not worried about the name. I'm worried about the harassment. Can you please handle that?
Yeah, and click the like button if looking at those pictures. You're a traditionalist like me, and you would refer to that as a mask and not a headband with ears.
A headband with ears, furry ears, with which they meow and bark and bite and scratch. They're not furries. They're just sexually aroused little kids. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Ew.
They like to do weird things in furry costumes. They're not weird furry people.
And the Sorensen guy said, you know, I think it's important to allow students these oddities. There was even a teacher who came out, I believe on Facebook, someone can find it, where she said, these people pushing these lies, these students are actually the ones causing problems. And it was great that they were gone from school yesterday because we, for the first time, had a peaceful day in class. Okay, hold on. We had a peaceful day in class. Yes, you can use the litter box. Why are they defending this?
All the students were purring for the first time.
Yeah.
They purred in complete harmony.
Why is Sorensen so aggressively defending it and attacking students who are making it known? That's it doesn't really make sense, does it? When you take into account it's a violation of the student dress code, when you take into account that this is something that should be easily handled, you can't come to school in a mask, you can't come in a costume.
Makes you wonder a bunch of things, like where do these kids get this idea? Because this is definitely a trend. It's a fad. It's not something that's happening at every school.
No.
It's not like, oh, we have a mass problem with kids being no. This is something happened here in their local life.
Yeah.
Like maybe this guy's being a creep. I'm not accusing anything, but I'm kind of am.
We didn't get away with anything in school. I don't know if you guys had it like this, but you had rules on hair. It couldn't touch your collar if you were a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, maybe that was a bit extreme and you want to have guys that have long hair, fine. But you come to school with a problem with dress code, immediately it's taken care of. And it's minor stuff. If I come dressed as some freaking crazy unicorn Gerald version of myself that you saw yesterday, so yeah, if I come dressed like that, there's no way they're letting me in. They're going to think I either have a bomb or I'm about to rape somebody.
Yeah, probably both.
Maybe.
In some manner.
Not in that order.
You are the bomb. Sex bomb.
I like what you did there.
At my school, we weren't allowed to dye our hair. So you couldn't dye your hair unnatural colors like green and red, so kids would come in and do it on Halloween. And I remember kids hated me in the 9th grade. Like, hey, will you sign our petition? I said, well, what's it for? I said, to demand that the administration here, that they let us dye our hair green, pink, and purple. I said, no. And apparently I was the only teenager who said no. And I was like, no, because I don't think you understand. Like, democracy, man. They actually said, I said, this isn't democracy. This isn't just like, you don't just put everything to a vote. You understand that. First off, the people who are largely behind this petition, I don't like. Second, they have a finite amount of resources, and I'd rather get the panini press fixed in the cafeteria than go through this entire legislative process so that you can add red hair to your stupid lip ring, which, if you come at me, bro, is the first thing I'm tearing off your face. So play your cards carefully.
This is a window into Steven in school. He's the same guy. He didn't say no and move on. He said no and backed it up.
When I was in high school, we had a furry, but it was just that Iranian chick with a hairy back.
Yes. That doesn't count. That does not count.
Yeah. I missed the days where the only furries in your school were part of the Kardashians.
Oh, they got it fixed, though.
Unibrow.
Yeah.
They all look the same now.
You just add money, and they're kind of cute. So here's something else I will say. Credit where it's due. Pushing back against these furries in school is not the hero that we deserve. It's the one we need, or is it not the one we need, the one we deserve? It's not the hero we need, the one we deserve. A furry, a self-aware furry named Strudel.
This is Strudel, a member of the furry fandom.
Pause it. This goes back to local news. This is Strudel, a member of the furry fandom. Just say it with a straight face.
Definitely the one we deserve.
I want to make sure my tape gets to the big networks.
Yes, this will be part of my promotional reel.
We met Strudel at their home, the doghouse.
Yes. Strudel was about to be put down until a loving home found him and took them with him.
We met up with Strudel at a local Petco.
Unfortunately, Strudel was busy raping. So,
Which is acceptable in the furry community.
yes. I'm still learning the rules, Bob. Let's go back. This is Strudel.
Leg, I got a hump for an interview. Sorry.
All right. Play it from the top. I just find that funny that they have to take it
Come on,
seriously.
throw me a bone. Sorry.
All right.
All right, here it
Watch it again.
This is Strudel, a member of the furry fandom.
Crazy that it's escalated to this point where these kids are being so distracting to their peers.
She's speaking English.
Want to stage a walkout, or to have the next generation
This is translated.
kind of muddy our name and not represent it very well. It is kind of disappointing. Continue doing things you like. Continue dressing up. Continue making art, but maybe let's keep it outside of school hours.
There you go.
That is a reasonable sexual deviant.
Yes.
That's not so
Come
rough.
on.
And by the way, this kind of thing is, I know it sounds weird because you'd think Iran, you'd think what's going on, as far as I don't know, the fiat currency or the encroachment of China. No, these are the kinds of stories that make me fear the apocalypse. And it's
Nuclear war, you're like, yeah, not going to happen.
I'm like I just look around to see if a lot of people have disappeared and I chose wrong.
It won't be furries, bro.
You end up in an episode of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
That's why we actually have even installed a panic room. We have one here at the office, though we haven't used it yet.
No.
Actually, I had to use it the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, wanted to.
Hey guys, if I could have everybody's attention for just a second, just want to let you know we've had a situation in the neighborhood. There's been a prowler out there, but don't worry, everything is completely under control.
Panic room, panic room, panic room, panic room, Kylie, panic room, panic room. Hey!
That's not a very sturdy panic room. I think we
Yeah,
both
sorry, I broke the
side
panic
wall.
room. Sorry.
You don't want a glass like panic room door either,
You
because
would
that's
think-
kind of scary.
Yeah, exactly.
They know
can just-
exactly where you are.
Yeah, they can mess with your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a psychological warfare.
I don't want that.
That's
Yeah,
the worst part.
That's the kind of room you get in and then start panicking.
Yes, exactly.
I like how you said panic when you got in it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He likes narrating.
Did I say it?
I think so.
We had to remind yourself.
I always just telling myself where I am. I always I'm
Yeah.
always self-aware. Like right now, I'm in my head. I'm like studio.
This would be one of those things where people talk, where people talk about common ground. Hey, we're not going to find common ground if everybody can't just say, all right, this shouldn't be happening in middle schools or any schools.
Yeah.
And the administration, they certainly shouldn't be accusing students of lying. If we're talking about people not feeling heard or seen, this is one that obviously, all right, we dropped the ball. Let's protect our students. Let's make sure they feel heard, and let's try and find some kind of a compromise here. Headband with ears is okay. No, that's not going to happen because you have the media once again engaging in malpractice, and this time it involves kids. And I want to, before we go to Mug Club, you can, again, join loudwithcredit.com/Mug Club. It's $89 annually. You can go mugless for $9. None of this happens without you. We do not get money from Qatar, unlike universities.
Not yet, but I sent a message out.
Well, we'll see. We'll get right on. Watch Josh will just come in and he'll be like yee, just talking about the Jews nonstop.
Oh, come on.
Gonna have a bottle of Yoo-hoo and a net. And I want to ask you before we go to Mug Club, because I don't want to stay here too long, because I think some of you won't like this, but maybe we should introduce a new segment called "Is It Child Abuse?" Would this be child abuse? If one of my children, or let's say hypothetical, if one of your children came forward and said, "Hey, I'm a cat," because this happens a lot, and you see these parents being interviewed saying, "Well, I don't want to insult them, or I don't want to harm their self-identity." Here's how I would probably handle. I think this would be a good way to handle it. I just don't know if I would go to jail. Is, all right, son or daughter, say, okay, you're a cat. So I know you're going to throw at me. There have been 50 different genders with some Native American tribe. But here's the thing. No one has ever been throughout history 2 different species at once. It's never happened. But if you really, really think you're a cat, Dad'll allow you to be a cat. And if offspring says I'm a cat, great. You're now being fed cat food on the floor. You crap in the corner and you sleep outside. It'd be like smoking an entire packet of cigarettes, except with odd sexual identity. I think it's probably 24 hours and they say, all right, I'm a boy. That's what I thought.
Well, it depends on the coyote population. But.
That's true.
Ooh.
That is true. Well, I mean, I'd have like a Great Pyrenees out there to protect it.
Yeah.
To protect the child.
Pair of knees?
Great Pyrenees. They protect the flock.
And what's a couple of knees? Oh, what is it, like an animal?
Yeah, it's a good dog.
Oh, I thought you meant like a pair of good sturdy kneecaps.
No, I don't have that. My knee's just blown. So, thanks for highlighting it.
Sorry.
I think that would be a good way to do it. No? Has anyone else thought of this?
I think it's
Treat them like the animal they claim to be.
You put them in a kennel.
They're not going, yes, a dog, you're in a kennel.
There you go.
A bird, bird shot.
Wait, whoa.
It's bird shot. It doesn't penetrate enough. It's not going to.
You zagged. It was like bird cage, right? You put them in a bird cage and you went to shoot them.
Yeah, get them neutered.
There you go. Spayed and neutered.
There you go.
You're going to be my pet.
Yes, we're going to spay you.
And you get a shot collar.
Yes, you get a shot collar.
The second they say, Dad, I'm a cat, spray bottle.
Yep.
I'm a cat. How about now?
Yep.
Yeah, he's still a cat? Huh? Still a cat?
I'm telling. Is that child abuse? I don't think so. I think it's giving them exactly what they want, which is what we've been told to do now as modern parents.
Watch Louder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.